What's up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. So we are almost at the end of June 2019, and because of that, we are doing my top 10 favorite movies of the year so far as of today. And I want to preface, I still haven't seen Yesterday. That movie's going to come out at the end of June, but I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm doing it now to recap the first 6 months of the year. Now, this list will absolutely change by the time we get to the end of 2019. That's why I wanted to talk about some of these movies right now, hit on some honorable mentions. I need you guys in the comments down below. What movie has hit you hardest this year? Which ones have you not liked the most? But these are my personal favorite films, and I guarantee your list is going to look nothing like my list, but that's the beauty of movies. All right, I'm really excited to talk about this. Starting out, I want to hit on some honorable mentions. Let's talk about some Netflix movies real quick. Always Be My Maybe was a really nice surprise. The Rolling Thunder Review and the Fire documentary were two documentaries that I thoroughly enjoyed, and they were also on Netflix. Dragon Ball Super Broly. Oh my god, if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you haven't seen this movie, go out, seek it, watch it right now. It's so much fun. Guava Island was a really nice surprise from Donald Glover on Prime Video. And to round out my honorable mentions, and I'm so sad it did not make the top 10, just barely missed it, and that is Shazam. But you know what? Out of like 104 movies that I've seen this year, that's pretty good. Being number 11, thoroughly enjoyed that movie. My dog's growling. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing, pal? Want to be in the video? And even though I've been able to watch over 100 2019 movies, I have still not seen certain films like Climax or the Mustang, two movies that I really wanted to see that have potential to make this list. I am going to see Climax this weekend, though, and I will be logging it on Letterboxd. Okay, let's talk about number 10. And number 10 is Rocketman. This is the Dexter Fletcher directed film that came out, and a lot of people were wanting to compare it to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I understand that because it's the director that took over for Bryan Singer for Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's Taron Egerton playing a very similar, outlandish character as Rami Malek played Freddie Mercury. Okay, you have all those similarities, but then this movie starts and it completely sweeps me away, sweeps me off my feet, literally, because it's not just another conventional and cliche biopic. It is a full-on musical, and okay, that took me off guard at first, and I'm gonna be honest, the first 15-20 minutes of this movie did not captivate me like I wanted it to, but the second Taron Egerton came on screen, I was hooked from then on out for the rest of the movie. Guys, it was so much fun. If you are a fan of Elton John, or if you have even heard of his music and you're like, yeah, that's a catchy tune, go and watch this film because you get so many different elements of his personality on top of the different iterations of his songs, and it's just so much fun to see all of this happen on screen. Dexter Fletcher directed the heck out of this thing, man. His style, his flair, it is on point throughout, and the ending will leave a lot of people shedding that little tear, man. I did want a bit more out of certain elements, but overall, I was thoroughly impressed. Had a great time with Rocketman. Major surprise, and out of 100 plus movies, it is my number 10 on the year. Okay, let's talk about number 9. My number 9 film, and I cannot believe it is this low. My goodness, because I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. More than I think a lot of people. This is directed by David Robert Mitchell, and this is Under the Silver Lake, the A24 film that frankly, they did not know what to do with. The release date shifted multiple times. This is starring Andrew Garfield, and this is one of the quirkiest and weirdest and outlandish plays on Los Angeles I have ever seen in my life. And honestly, if you're asking me today, still don't really know what it's about. But I had a great time with this movie. Like I said, it's odd and quirky. The pacing takes a bit to get used to, but if you can understand and accept that this movie is so far over the top, you will be swept away by its style and the performance, which I thought was extremely underrated by Andrew Garfield. Sam is after this beautiful woman that he finds swimming in a pool one night, and it's this mystery that turns into this complex situation, and by the end you're going to be like, what the heck did I just watch? And it's a long movie. It doesn't sound like I'm really giving you guys a reason to watch this movie, but I encourage you, especially if you're a fan of A24 and the quirky nature of their films, I truly think this is a hidden gem in 2019 so far. Find it, rent it, do whatever you have to do. Under the Silver Lake is a lot of fun, and I want to watch it again because I feel like my experience could either improve or go down. Hope it improves. Next up is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. I didn't think any animated movie this year could not surpass this, but surpass it to the degree that another animated movie did, but it just gave me everything I wanted to close off this trilogy. One of the best animated movie trilogies I've ever seen. One of the better trilogies I've ever seen. Every film has been consistent, but to pay off all of these storylines, bring us characters, new characters that were interesting, but focus on the characters that we know and love from the other two films, guys. I love Hiccup. I love his relationship with the dragon. Toothless is one of the cutest animals I've ever seen in an animated movie, and their relationship is the boy and his dog. Yes, you can simplify it in that way, but it's so much fun, guys. If you have not seen the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, what a great closeout to an incredible story. And yeah, the tears were flowing at the end with a lot of people in my audience. Fighting with my family, I had so much unexpected fun because I'm not the world's biggest wrestling fan. Like, I enjoy it, and I used to watch it with my dad. My dad loves wrestling, but I'm just sitting here like, okay, it's another cliche. Oh, it's produced by the WWE. This is not going to be the best. And, oh, look, The Rock has his cameo, of course, and he's just doing it to make money. But no, I think this story was very personal for The Rock. And Florence Pugh blew me away. I mean, she blew me away in this movie. She was so good, her relationship with her brother, and it's all about a girl and a guy, a brother and a sister, who wants to accomplish a dream. One gets chosen over the other. There's a conflict there, and there's the conflict of, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready for this. That on top of the really exciting wrestling scenes and tying that into the true story of Paige. Guys, this movie was probably my biggest surprise of the year so far in terms of how much I enjoyed it, and it is truly one that I encourage you to see if you have not seen, Fighting with My Family. Number 6, still up there. I mean, Us was thoroughly entertaining for me. It gave me what I wanted from Jordan Peele. Now, I will go ahead and answer the question, do I like Us or Get Out better? After thinking about it and just kind of realizing that I think Get Out had a better capture, a better hold on what it was trying to do. I do prefer Get Out, but that doesn't mean, clearly, number 6, that doesn't mean I do not love what Us did for this story and for the relationships with these characters and just the odd and weird. Now, I had to get past, yes, the weird voice where she's holding the scissors. I mean, that had to hurt. That hurt me doing that just now. There are some odd elements to this film and things that, if you think about it a bit too much, I overthunk this movie for weeks and weeks, and I'm sure I came up with the craziest fan theories that were not true, and Jordan Peele has come out and he's disproved some of those fan theories and some of the fan theories that I had. But you know what? That's the beauty of a Jordan Peele directed horror/thriller film. Not necessarily scary, but it was very thrilling, and it's just a cool, original idea. How often is it that we get an original horror thriller in this nature with this cast? I mean, the cast was remarkable. Guys, I had a blast with Us, and that's the reason why it's so high. It's kind of bothering me that I have Booksmart at number 5. I mean, I loved the living crap out of this movie, and I wanted to see it again. Unfortunately, it's out of theaters because it didn't make the most money at the box office. People didn't go see it. But guys, I encourage you, Booksmart is everything that we wanted from a movie like this. It just updates it for a new generation, right? Superbad, I heard the Superbad comparisons, and they are there for sure. But Olivia Wilde takes this film and does something special, something new with it, and gives us one of the best relationships I have seen all year. These two girls are amazing in this movie. Their comedic timing, the way they play off of each other, you would think they have been friends in real life for years, guys. I had so much fun with Booksmart. It is still one of the funniest films I've seen all year, probably the funniest, and maybe I rewatch it, maybe it moves up, but right now, number 5 on my list, knocked it out of the park for me. Number 4, John Wick, Parabellum, guys, the third chapter in this ongoing, incredible action saga. Just keep doing it, man. Keep making these movies. I want to see them forever. And you know what? Chapter 3 may actually be my favorite because it gave us the best, most bold, and incredible. Sure, it gives the story this big element to it, but it also shrinks it down from the second one, right? The second one was a big story. It had a lot to tell, and this one does as well, but it feels more scaled down like the original, but it gives us all of those things plus so much more, guys. The characters, I think, are more realized. This world is turning into something, and now we kind of know the route they're going down. Sure, it gets a bit out of hand in the third act, and some things happen. You're like, is he a superhero, or is he John Wick? But the way he fights, the action scenes, and the way those action scenes are filmed, yeah, He is a superhero, and John Wick is an amazing franchise, and this chapter blew me away. One of the most fun experiences I've had in the theater all year. My theater was going crazy. The library fight, I say no more. Boom, drop the mic, because it's one of the best, most incredible hand-to-hand combat scenes I have seen in a long time. Plus the gun fu. Guys, John Wick is awesome. Keanu Reeves is the man. This is the summer of Keanu Reeves, and I'm loving every freaking second of it. I can't wait to see what he gets cast as in the MCU. Okay, going on a rabbit trail. Next. Number 3, directed by S. Craig Zahler, a movie that I'm not seeing too many people talk about. I have people on my Twitter feed and a couple people in the letterbox that are loving this movie, but I think there needs to be more eyes on Dragged Across Concrete. This is a long movie, 159 minutes to be exact. So yeah, you're going to be in here for the long haul, and you have to be focused on these characters. But if you can get past that first hour, which I will admit is a bit slow, but it got me hooked, it got me connected to this story. Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn play off of each other so well. They're the weathered, grizzled down cops, and they're sick of it. They're sick of conforming to society. Yeah, they're not the best people ever, but you understand that they are here to provide us certain elements of this story, and they do that. And what Zahler does, he doesn't just focus on these characters. He gives us all of these different stories. He may focus on a character that doesn't matter in the long run, but he does it for a reason. Everything he does in this film is cold and calculated, and the end is one of the most thrilling third acts I have seen in a long time, guys. This is one of those slow-moving films. It reminded me in a weird way of Hell or High Water, or if you've seen his other films, Brawl and Cell Block 99 is fantastic. I mean, the guy just knows how to direct a hardcore movie like this, and the cinematography, the violence, it is a hard R absolutely, but Dragged Across Concrete is exactly what I wanted. Love this movie, my number 3 film of the year so far, and I encourage you to check it out if you like the movie that I just described to you. Yeah, very recent entry on this list. We're talking Toy Story 4, guys. I love this movie, and I've talked about it so many times this weekend already. 3 videos about Toy Story, and we're still going, still trucking, so I don't want to rehash the things that I have said. Here's what I'll say. Going into this film, I was very hesitant. I did not think it could deliver on the level that it did, because you build up this expectation in your head, and then you see a trailer that kind of underwhelms you, a bit different animation style, and a brand new director. Josh Cooley knocked it out of the park. You can tell he holds these characters close to his heart, and it captures, and I've said this multiple times, it captures nostalgia perfectly, but it mixes it with new elements and brings it into the current age, and utilizes technology, and utilizes the brand new cast, which is awesome, guys. I love Toy Story 4. I don't want to keep saying it because it's probably annoying at this point because I've talked about it so much, but it blew me away. I don't think it's my favorite Toy Story movie, but you're comparing some of the best animated films of all time, so it's hard to say it's my favorite. Number 2 of this year, though. It's another one that I don't want to talk about that much because it's super obvious, especially if you've been following this channel for a long time, guys. Avengers Endgame, this is the most predictable list you will ever see on YouTube. It's just amazing. I love what it did. I love how it captured all of the elements of the characters that I have grown up with, some people have grown with. I mean, it just did everything I wanted it to do and provided me with very unexpected elements and plot lines. It is so much fun. And one thing that I was afraid it may not have been after the first viewing, because it's 3 hours long, it's a long film, you've got a lot to digest, it's rewatchable. I watched it 4 times in the theaters, guys. 4 times, and I may have cried or shed a tear every single time, guys. I love Avengers Endgame. If you want to see more, you can go on my Letterboxd page. I do a review on it every single time I see it, but there are so many things to love about this film. And it gave us, I think, the perfect ending to certain characters when they met their fate in that film, and you're sitting there and you're just crying. You're like, daggone it, but they executed it so well. It's going to be hard to top Avengers Endgame this year, but I have faith in the rest of the year. There are a lot of films that I'm looking forward to. Most of them come out during Oscar season, but there are still a few more blockbusters that have the potential to hit that top 10 mark. So my question to you guys, which movies do you love? Which movies do you hate? Which ones have surprised you? This is your place and space to talk about 2019 so far, the first half. But the second half is coming. We're talking most anticipated at some point in the next few weeks. I'm going to come out with that video later on in the year. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This was so much fun to do, and I will catch you guys very soon.